The virtual students are at home, so they have a lot more distractions. A lot of them have different family circumstances, so they might be taking care of siblings and making sure that their younger siblings are doing their virtual school as well, things of that nature. And with me, a lot of because I'm teaching 7th and 8th grade this year, last year I taught primarily 7th, so a lot of the 8th grade students that I taught last year. And what I'm noticing is while they were A students last year, they've been failing this year because they're at home and we're not able to determine what they're doing because they're behind the screen, and 9 times out of 10 their camera's off and they're muted, so we have no idea what they're doing, if they're even at the computer. Whereas the brick and mortar kids, while we still can't determine what they're doing on their actual computers all the time, I'm able to look at their faces and determine whether or not they're engaged or whether or not they understand. So I'm better able to make sure that they master content, whereas the virtual kids, I just have to go by what they do or what assignments they turn in, and the few that do participate via the chat. So there's that disconnect because I can't physically see if they're mastering content or anything like that. And the kids that I taught last year are doing much worse than what I know they're capable of.
Good morning, rise and shine. It is that time. Hello. Okay. It is like 7:15. You got about 15 minutes. You need to be in front of that computer, so get on up. I guess at first, when they first started homeschool, it was something new, kind of exciting. They kind of like took to it.
It was a different experience for them.
Right. They were good. But I guess as time set in and they realized what they were missing, like she said, she hates it now. When they realized what they were missing, as well as it's more difficult to understand some things. And of course, the teachers would prefer them to be there in person.
And then watch it, okay? So today's lesson is obviously this one, the one that says Friday, April 5th.
Did you enjoy school before the pandemic?
Most definitely. I want to go back, but I'm not allowed.
Why aren't you allowed?
COVID. Yeah.
So if you were allowed, would you go to school?
Automatically.
Even though you have to wear a mask all day, you would
Automatically.
You would go to
You do
school.
not need to know a specific date. You have to have a general understanding.
That sounds so ridiculous.
So why was there international
You know
tension?
there
I'm in class.
Wait, that's your question. We have to discuss about say the economy, right? German hyperinflation.
It's way harder now because we're like at home and it's hard to focus. Like if I was like actually in school, like I'll have to like actually focus. But at home, I don't be paying attention, so I don't really learn
It's a
anything.
lot of
It gets
distractions.
worse once the
Yeah.
Great Depression happened.
And it's just looking through a screen, and they can't see you. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go to sleep.
Dictators like that.
I need to go back to school.
Do you feel like they're giving you just busy work?
The most successful in
Pretty much, yeah. Like especially around testing, I've gotten more work than ever. Even though they know we have testing, I'm supposed to be studying for testing. They don't care. They just give me a bunch of work, and so I'm getting missing works because I'm focusing on my testing.
organizations,
And they have to make up the work for school.
things that continue today.
Too
Were
much.
successful. So
I
some
can't.
parts of that question how
One of my main issues, because I teach science, I like to do labs. So I think that's a big piece, a part of the curriculum. And I know most of our kids, they are kinesthetic and visual learners. So I think that's very helpful. They can do labs, especially with the content. But now because we are virtual and brick and mortar during the pandemic, we're not allowed to do labs. So I kind of, also I kind of struggle with just sending out virtual labs, but it's not as engaging, and then a lot of times the kids don't really understand because they can't be hands-on with the material.